Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's time for the VooDoo Chef Podcast, where we will discuss all things voodoo from the VooDoo Studios located right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. So to all my booties out there, if you're looking for nothing but a good time, this is the place to be. Call your friends, knock on the neighbor's door, and let them know it's time to party like a rock star for the next hour. Join me and my guests and learn to voodoo like we do as we discuss our faves and the voodoo that we use. I'll put our guests on the spot as we ask for their top 3, and make sure and listen as we discuss some of our favorite war stories from the kitchens we've worked in. Sit back, grab a tall glass of your favorite libation, and enjoy this episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast.
What's going on, Voodies? A very, very, very cool podcast today. We've got the drummer from Queensryche, Grillo, going to be joining us. And then some good times and shenanigans taking place like always. Grab your drink, grab cocktails, whatever it is. A lot of stuff going on. I don't know if you can see behind me. We got a shirt, all the shirts from VooDoo hanging in VooDoo Studios. But we're bringing a shirt out of retirement for Father's Day. We've got a special deal going on. For Father's Day, you're going to be able to grab my favorite VooDoo shirt, and I don't know why I like it. I don't know what it resembles, but it's coming out of retirement. You're going to be able to grab the shirt for your dad along with some VooDoo seasonings. Make sure you log on to the website, voodoochef.com, and order your Father's Day gift today. The VooDoo shirt, we got a couple different packages. Big Eddie C, we put them together just for you. Dirt and Dust, along with the Father's Day shirt, special package. That's your blend right there, man. Durst, right?
Durst, baby. One side of the burger for each one. Flavor times 10,000. Shit, yeah.
And we packed it together. Those are probably our top 2 sellers. Packed them together just to get them out for Father's Day, coupled with the shirt. You want to go bigger and badder, you can get the entire barbecue bundle with the shirt as well. So we got 2 different levels there, but make sure you log on, grab those today. A lot of big news coming. Meeting with too many people, doing too many things, craziness happened. Make sure you stay tuned. A lot of amazing guests coming up in the next week. But Eddie C, today's the day, man. Casey Grillo coming in. How cool is that? Second time.
Always excited to talk to Casey, man.
So tell me what's going on, Eddie C, with you. What's going on? COVID's killing us, man, but we're coming out. We're not coming out. Is there going to be a backlash? What are the bets on that?
The best I can tell you is everything I've read, it's like the truth is hard to figure out, because I went to the doctor the other day. I went to my pulmonary guy because he likes to tell me, hey, you're doing good. You're using your sleep apnea machine. It's like, and
we're fucking old.
He said that it's okay to go out now. He said you can do both. You can go out and do things. You're just going to have to keep your distance, wear your mask, wash your hands. This is how it's going to be for a while. This is our, I don't want to say it's our new normal. It's going to be our temporary normal. It's going to be an inconvenience. I had to wear my mask, and I'll tell you what, it's irritating as shit on this chin hair. I ain't digging it. But sometimes you got to have that conversation with yourself. You say, I'm an adult. That means I'm going to have to do shit I don't like. This being one of them. So.
Okay. And let's throw this out there, Ed, because, we're going to have those voodies out there who are like, well, wait a minute. We're already back out and we're outside. You're still talking about shit from 3 weeks ago. We pre-record this thing, man. We're like proactive. We're ahead of the game. We're superstars. This isn't live shit. I mean, so if we're already back out and partying like rock stars by the time you hear this, fuck it, fast forward, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
But go straight to Casey. That's cool. But right around the time this is scheduled to post, Motley Crue is supposed to be making their big announcement about their tour. Are they going to tour? Are they not going to tour? Let's make some predictions. I mean, it's about 15 days away from that big announcement. If the we're never going to get back together, but we're getting back together tour is going to happen. What's Big Eddie C's prediction?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't lay money on it yet because we're not quite where they're going to allow crowds at sporting events and concerts. But in 2 more weeks, if we continue to see numbers go down, then I think that the state's going to seriously consider or move to what they call phase 2, which is everything at 75% capacity.
Oh, holy shit, man.
You know, I think events, special events, like what that falls under, I don't know where that's going to go. That'd be a question for Casey because he kind of lives in that realms of crowds and all that. But, you know, for a show that big, I'm not entirely sure they're going to let it happen. But when the governor just, was it yesterday, said, hey, we're going to open up for sporting events if you want to practice here, if you want to play here. I saw an article today. Joe Buck was saying they already have plans. Like the NFL's it's gonna be a go on day 1. But they said what they can do, they have a plan now where they can add virtual fans in stadiums and crowd noise that will make it indistinguishable for us who, well, me, you go to those fucking games still. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm not going out there and roasting like a fucking rotisserie chicken. It's not going to be any different for those of us like me sitting at home in the recliner, watching that shit on the fucking 4K TV and hitting pause if I got to go and get up and get another beer.
What's that gonna, I mean, I don't get it, man. The virtual fan, you know, the crowd noise, the fake crowd noise, that would be for the player to get them pumped. You know, I don't want to be a virtual fan. I actually talked to One Buck today. Angelina is excited. She wants to go see football. She's getting into it. The hoopla, Brady, all that stuff.
Yeah, that.
She wants to get tickets and go. And I'm like, you know what? You know me. If she wants to do it, we're going to figure it out. So, you know, I called up One Buck. I said, hey, yo, are you guys going to have the season? And, you know, their official answer is, we can't tell you that right now. We don't know. We're planning as if we're going to play on day 1, but we don't know what that's going to look like. And I go, well, you know what? Here's my phone number. When they figure this out and we're ready to go and you know that my ass will be in a seat, call me back and I'll buy tickets because I'm going to hold my money until that rather than you hold my money until that. So this whole virtual fan thing, I don't know that I got it.
But that's for TV. That like it's not for the players there. They may go with some games initially with no fans, but for those of us watching at home, we will see what looks like fans in the stadium and won't know the difference. I mean, that's where technology is. They can draw that shit over. They can layer it over Tampa Stadium, and they can. The
future's now, man.
Yeah, they can layer appropriate crowd noise to where if
we live in Florida, it's hot as fuck. I got to turn on some fans and shit.
No worries.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. So, sports and concerts, man. I don't know how that's going to look. I suspect that maybe by August or September they'll let it happen, but there's still too many people that buy into panic. You know, when I went to the doctor again, back to that the other day, he said when people hear there's so many cases, do they realize that the vast majority of them is people that might have had a little bit of a cough or nothing, or they got a small case of the shits? It's not everybody is going straight from normal one day and on a ventilator.
Yeah, you're on a respirator tomorrow.
Right. He said, I got 2 patients. He said, one guy's 80-some years old. He has like 10 other things wrong with him. That's the norm. He said, and he's recovering actually. So there's some horrible and tragic things that have happened, pardon me.
You know, I just got to think, you know, and I try not to watch TV. And what I mean by that, come on, I watch every nonsensical show on the planet, from Dance Moms to this Joe Exotic Lion shit. When I say I don't watch TV, I don't want to think. I don't want to watch the news. But I think I saw something about the mortality rate being like less than 2%.
Yeah, it's about 2%. And in Florida, the last time I saw data, and this is 2 weeks ago, when right about the time that Governor DeSantis said, we're going to open the restaurants back up, we're going to allow 25% capacity. What's called the RT rate, the retransmission rate, if it's less than 1, it's not spreading, and it was at 0.88. So Georgia opened back up, and they've seen their cases drop, and everybody was predicting doom and gloom. And it's like some people, I think, it's like, why would you fucking want bad shit to happen? What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, how did you stay out of special ed with that mindset? It just doesn't work.
Dude, don't get me started on the education shit again. I shared a lot of my comments the other day, and but you know, speaking of Georgia, you know how Florida's a peninsula?
Yeah.
Do you know how that peninsula stays attached to the continental United States?
It's hanging off of Georgia's ass, right?
No, Georgia sucks, man. Georgia just sucks. So that's a Florida Georgia joke for the world's largest cocktail party in Jacksonville. But I have no allegiance to either school, either team. But Eddie C, let's man, you spawned my brain and made me think of some stuff. We got Casey coming in today. We got a lot of things forthcoming. I do want to give a shout out. I don't know if you noticed here, partner. The world's opening back up. I got to
trimmed up, yo.
I got to hit up the barber. I got the zero going on the sides. I don't have a bandana in the building today, but that's okay. We'll pimp out UT. My daughter goes to UT. She's in the honors program, killing it.
This is Sparta. That's right.
Hasn't made anything less than, I think, a 95. She's a fucking rock star. I hit up my boy Francisco, different dude. My boy Gus the barber. Hit him up on Insta. Gus the barber is all you got to look up. I think it's G_the_. I don't fucking know. Gus the barber. If you really need a barber, text me. Hit me up. I'll send you his direct contact. And I also checked out Sergio today. Our good friend Sergio Chan King of Ybor Sushi House, Coco Sushi. A lot of you don't know this. We talked to Bucks. We're here in Tampa, Florida. It's Ed's uniform for the damn show. I mean, killing the Bucks every week. Gotta love it.
That's all they wearing for 6 weeks straight.
Sergio is the official sushi chef of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, of the owners of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's in the owner's suite. He is in both club levels. He does all the clubs. He does the catering. He does $1 place. He is the official sushi chef of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I went out and I had hang out with him today, making some sushi bowls, just chit-chatting, getting it caught up on industry, staying fresh, eating sushi. Best spicy tuna in fucking town. The best spicy tuna in town. Hit him up, Sergio Chan King. Just a killer dude. And look for some cool stuff. Maybe some little partnerships coming in the near future. Don't want to allude too much because it's still way fresh, but it's going to be pretty cool. Check him out. Make sure you hit him up. I don't know what else we got to say, man, leading in. Hit up the Father's Day, VooDooChef.com. Make sure you hit us on all social media platforms at VooDooChef13. Make sure and hit that YouTube page. Don't just go there to watch the podcast. Hit subscribe and tell your friends. Share to your friends. We're not putting up any cheesy fucking ads or doing any of that shit. We're just sitting here chilling, having a good time, having a cocktail.
Cheers.
Lightning. And talking with people like Casey Grillo. So it's going to be a great day. Can't wait for Case. We'll see you in a bit.
It's fucking terrible.
All right, well, Eddie C, let's do this thing. Let's get our old pal Casey Grillo in the room and start chatting with Case about, everything going on, music going on. Case, you're cockeyed, man. You're going to have to flip that pick, man. Or is that how we're doing it nowadays, man? How you been?
Do we flip it the other way, or does it work this way?
I don't know. You're looking like this right now.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
I thought you could do it that way on this thing.
Well, dude, you're talking to VooDoo Chef
you go.
podcast, man. Yeah, we're not living the Rockstar world, man. Come on.
It's probably like half the. He's used to it. It's crooked, like half the promoters and managers he's ever worked with.
No shit. They're
Dude,
getting their dues now, though.
Dude, it's an odd view of your casa right there. It took me a minute to figure out where you're at, but I got it figured out. How you been, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, man. I we're on lockdown. I don't see you that much anymore. And the rules of the podcast, I hope you have a cocktail.
Is that better now?
We're winning, man.
Look at that.
Dude, how you been, man? You go on this amazing tour. I mean,
Yeah, I'm still filling in. You know,
that's all right, man.
touring drummer for Queensryche.
Ring drummer.
Hey, you know what? You're a rock star, brother. They're lucky to have it. And you're lucky to have it, man. Congratulations.
So Keith, I got to ask him, you're like the drummer when you guys play, you're the drummer like what, 99.85%? Does Todd still hop in at the end of Eyes of a Stranger?
No, he hasn't played that in a while. He hadn't done that in a long time.
Oh, wow.
So
I thought it was cool. I saw that one clip of him doing it. It was just
I think he'd only done that. I think that was the only time, really.
wow.
Yeah.
So, Case, you come off this huge tour, man. I mean, I go weeks without seeing you around the hood here, and then I'm looking on Facebook, Insta, and I see feet propped up, and you're traveling in the back of a limo talking about how tough life is, man.
Yeah, well, those are the great days. Now it's not so much touring at all, you know. So
Yeah, I know, and that's part of why we wanted to get you back in here. On the forefront of a lot of the TV and things we see, we hear a lot about my industry, and the restaurants are shut down, and the restaurant workers, this, that, and I love my industry, and I'm doing everything we can to support them. But we forget about a lot of the other industries, and your industry is suffering as well. I mean, live shows, live events, and it's not just you, it's production crews, it's setup teams. Can you talk to that a little bit?
dude, it's everybody. I mean, it's local people. I mean, it's bigger than local, but there's big acts that are struggling, man. It's like you said, the crew guys. I mean, I've got friends that my drum techs and friends that I've toured with through 32 years now, that I've gotten to know very well. Good friends, man, and I'm seeing them like going, I have no clue what I'm going to do. They don't have another life. This is all they've ever done.
Right.
Same here. It's all I've only made, well, up until the last few years, I started doing the drumhead thing, but I've always made money playing music. I always made a living doing that. That's how, it's always been like that. Now it's like, wow, okay, I don't know when.
Now, Casey, someone like yourself or your drum tech or something like that, with all these bailouts we're seeing, VooDoo Chef isn't eligible for any of those bailouts because I don't have employees. I don't meet the qualifications because I'm not big enough, but yet I'm the guy that's probably suffering the most. As a musician, you're kind of like a business of your own as well. No employees, private contracted. None of this is coming down and trickling down to you guys either. Is that true?
No, nothing. Not a penny. I mean, that's the problem. Like, well, I haven't seen the stimulus yet, but that it'll probably be in a check form, and I don't think many people have seen a check anyway. But no, I haven't. That's the whole issue. My wife's filed for unemployment. She still hasn't got unemployment yet, and
really?
She's actually back to work now. But all those those 6 weeks that she was out of work, she couldn't get unemployment either. So it's been, it's one of those things, man. People don't really get like, oh, you fine, you just file for unemployment. Well, I'm 1099, so
right.
You're self-employed. You don't get unemployment. I guess there's an unemployment insurance or something that I'm finding out now that I could have been doing, but that's all I want to do is pay more into something that, you know, that I would never thought I would be unemployed, you know. There's always been work for me, you know, in that.
And you know, when you think of someone like Casey Grillo, touring drummer of Queensryche, you never think, you know, you just think, everybody just assumes, well, shit, man, fucking rockstar life, dude. You're people like everybody else, and you still have bills and you still have everything else. Just because, and I love you, bro, but you know, I met you as Casey before anything else. But like the people that have you on the pedestal, they have this vision of the life you lead, and they don't really realize that you busted your ass to get where you're at, just like everybody else. You're doing everything you can, and now your paycheck's been taken away too. And and people just don't realize that, you know, it's hitting everybody.
Not just the paycheck. I mean, it's getting taken away for a lot of the year. I mean, there's stuff that's been moved that has been canceled. That's like, wow, okay, removed. You know, everything. If it gets close to a month, you know, like they'll start looking at it, going, all right, we're going to move this date. We're moving this date. Now a lot of it's been moved down to the end of the year, but we'll see if that even happens. You know what I mean? You never know.
Yeah. So that was one question I wanted to ask. How far out are you guys not moving stuff? Are you on a 30-day?
I think we got stuff in July. Maybe next month too. I'm not sure. I have to look at the contract or the thing, but we have stuff in July still. There might be some stuff in June, but I can't remember. But
that's pretty optimistic, though. That's good.
What's that?
That's good though. That's optimistic, because I look around locally, and like Ruth Eckerd, Cabot, they don't have anything before October.
Yeah.
But
well,
you know, everybody's going to be different. We can't compare ourselves to like what's going on in New York City. I mean, that was the epicenter of it. I read somewhere that 80 to 90% of every case in the U.S. could be traced to somebody traveling there. And in the weeks after it had that outbreak in Wuhan, there were literally 500,000 people that were non-Chinese that came from China to America. So the epidemiology is utterly terrifying. But what I did, I pulled this out. When you guys next play Florida, this was what I had signed way back in the day by the original Queensryche. And because I was a stupid dick, there's nothing left of, you could see little black squiggles of where everybody signed. Yeah, because somebody said, well, you need to laminate that. I thought, well, it's a permanent marker. Bullshit. Not
Eddie
on
C
that.
is hitting you up, Case. He's hitting you up. He needs a refresh.
No, I remember that clearly. It was before the Metallica show. Queensryche opened up, I think, in '88 in Lakeland. And I brought that thing to get signed. And Chris DeGarmo and Michael Wilton completely forgot. They were trying to keep the line moving. They're like, where'd you get that thing? I said, I got it from a guitar teacher who had a friend in San Francisco. I've looked that guitar up. There is not one other of these anywhere. This is a Greco GTZ 65. This is some 80s looking shit right here. It may be the only one of its kind. It may well be. And that's why they looked at it like, where the fuck did you get that? And I'm sure by now, Michael Wilton has seen tens of thousands of guitars and played nearly as many.
Yeah, that's a cool guitar though, for sure.
Well, it looks cool, but let me tell you, it ain't. That was one of the first generation of Floyd Rose tremolos, and I was telling Erik, it goes out of tune more than one of them shitty American Idol audition singers. You tap that vibrato arm, and it's gone a half step every fucking time. I'm just going to eventually, I think, save up money, take it somewhere to some old hippie that knows what he's doing and saying, dude, rebuild that fucking bridge. I got to have the vibrato, but I got to have a better locking nut and everything else. So
It's getting kind of long, Case. What's going on?
Yeah, it's long, you know. So I grew this out, this little thing here, and I had a full beard not too long ago, and I got rid of it, but, you know.
So,
what are you gonna do?
So, dude, talk about these local guys, man, who aren't getting help, and how can we create some awareness? You know, the majority of our audience is right here in Tampa. What can we do to help some of these local guys
Well, I started a fund. I started the GoFundMe thing last week, I believe, or few days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. Right now, I think it's sitting at probably about $1,500-$1,600.
Well, let me tell you right now, VooDoo Chef's going to contribute to that and help out, man.
I think you appreciate that. I sat down. What made me think was I've got a very close friend that he's a musician. He's been a musician all his life. I've played with him for 30. I've known him for 30 years, right? And he has a family, and he's out of work, and his wife is going to school. She's a full-time student. So like, I'm like thinking to myself, how is he? I know he's not going to get any of the money coming in, the federal stuff,
Right?
The stimulus, because he's a musician. He probably hasn't paid his taxes or filed in a while or whatever. So it got me to thinking, how can I help? Not just him, but like a bunch of people I don't even know. So I put it out there, and I actually I was talking to the Grammys have a thing called Music Cares Act, and it's a fund that they're doing and they're raising, and they went through so many millions of dollars already, and they ran out trying to re-up their money. So I actually had a phone call with them, or I did a Zoom meeting. I think it was last Monday, and they were like, "We wish we could help you out," because what I wanted to do is have a donation set up or like a fundraiser, to where it would go to Music Cares and then funnel it back to Tampa somehow, like in this area, the musicians from here. They couldn't do that anyway, so and plus they're out of money. So I was like, all right, so what am I going to do next? And I'd already talked to my a couple of attorney friends of mine, and they're like, well, how are you going to hand out the money? It's like kind of a I'm like, you know what? They were saying it could be a bad thing if it looks like you're just handing it out to friends. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. If I can help anybody at this point, if you're a musician, or somebody that needs help, like whatever. So I went out and bought a bunch of Publix gift cards, because instead of handing out, here's $100, here's $200, I figured, you got to eat. So, and it's expensive to eat. We all know that. And, so I got a bunch of public stuff. So anyway, I started up this thing. It's called Tampa Bay Working Musicians Fund. And I have a Facebook page, Tampa Bay Working Musicians Fund. And that's actually the GoFundMe page as well. And it's doing pretty good. I mean, I see people donating and they're friends that I've known, because I'm just putting it on my Facebook at the moment. I've contacted a few musician friends already. There's a few of them that are like, just give it to somebody that can use it, because I'm fine. They're, guys that are just they've saved up enough money, which I was pretty surprised. I'm like, well, you're a musician. And they're like, yeah, I'm getting through it. And I'm like, well, what if I give it to you anyway? And if you know somebody, help them out. Give them one of the cards. I mean, it's only gonna, if it helps, one person, here and there, that's all I was looking to do, And if somebody really needed the money, I would just give them money too, So, but as long as they wouldn't go buy something like stupid with it or whatever.
As silly as this sounds, to maximize everything you're doing, I mean, have you reached out to Publix? Could we help you with that and maybe see if they'll match what you're doing? Because let's be real, the supermarket chains are raking it in right now, man.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I never even thought about that. I mean, I just started this thing, and I'm like, I even had a couple of friends that I know that are on crew guys. One guy works with, I'm not going to say who he works for.
Well, wait, let's clear this up. You're talking about musician crews, not like crew, crew. I don't want them to think because of our crew, we're talking musician crews. And so go ahead.
Yeah, like crew, like drum techs,
guitar techs.
Yeah, stuff like that. People, So what I basically did is I put a post out on Facebook asking if any of this would help anybody. And I said, I'll keep it discreet. No one needs to know. Just send me a private message. And I had people that I was like, wow, I'd never thought about, like lighting and, drum techs and
Exactly.
local guys we have,
But you can trace that all the way back to the rental companies where the gear comes from. I mean,
Right.
the whole chain.
Right. And yeah, I mean, most definitely. I mean, there's a couple of Backline Superstars, which is a backline company. Right now, they're not renting out anything. They
Right.
got full, they got drum sets and guitars and stuff that's just sitting there. So, but so I've been even reached out by people like that, teachers even like music teachers, like they give lessons like drum lessons and piano
Right.
lessons. And they can't do it. They can do it online, but it's really not the same. I can't go, all right, put your fingers are not, you're not holding your sticks right. I can kind of guess at it.
Trust me, we get it.
It's like a pain in the neck. I mean, just to try to teach somebody how to, I used to do it. I used to try to, I used to charge like $100 an hour for drum lessons, and it never worked. It never worked. I mean, online stuff, it mostly turned into like just a question and answer type thing, or fans or something that just wanted to talk.
It was like Chris Farley interviewing Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Casey, man, remember that time you did that fill on that song? Man, that was awesome.
That's exactly what it was.
That's too funny, man. Dude, a couple things. Let us help you get that out. If you text me that name of the site, we'll share it out. I mean, I'm not going to remember it. It's not going to happen. And two, let's chat. Whether either by phone, text, or out in the middle of the street. I don't give a shit. Come down for a beer. Let's talk about reaching out to Publix to see if they'll match what you do. And if they won't, let's fucking call Walmart. Let's call another somebody else to see if we can get them matching dollar for dollar what you're doing. I mean, that shouldn't be too hard to do. And, let's just brainstorm and see if we can help out these, local people. And I don't know if you're expanding farther than that, but if you are, great. If not, maybe let's talk to some of your other buddies and see if we can.
It's not a closed. I mean, it's not really a closed thing. And to be honest with you, it's not. At this point, it's like if it just helps anybody. I mean, if somebody's donating and they go, well, I want this money just to go to the Tampa musicians. Well, if I see somebody that needs, I'm sure that they're going to be okay with me giving a gift card to somebody that really needs it.
Absolutely.
Or if they're whatever they are, bartenders, everybody that's been hurt in this thing. So that's kind of, now it's turning into that. I mean, I started for the musicians, but at this point, like I told my buddy who's like, well, I don't need the money, but maybe I know somebody that does. And I said, yeah. And you know what? It doesn't have to be a musician. It can be, if it's somebody that, has a family and they haven't worked and whatever, so that's kind of the thing.
Dude, that's awesome. And you know what? We got some people we can contact. I can't promise anything, but we can get right into those offices down there and see if we can get some support to help out people, man. And you're right. It's not just, we have the VooDoo Chef Foundation, and it's not just about culinary people at this time, and it's not just about sending kids to school. Right now, it's just about making sure everybody's okay, no matter who they are. And I commend that you started with, what's close to your heart. But really, at the end of the day, people are close to your heart. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been helping anyone at all.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah, try, That's all you can do in this world today is try.
Exactly, dude. That's half the battle. If everybody would try, we would all win.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Hey, I wanna ask your insight on, in your line of work. I go to Guitar Center for stress relief. Walk around, look at shit, just to not think about anything. I play my guitar really loud and drink just to have fun. when you talk about your drum company, who are you using now?
DW,
Okay.
Zildjian, Big Firth. Yeah.
Okay, so when we trace that line back, how are they doing right now? How's that industry doing? Are people still buying stuff, or are they still being stimulated?
I think there's people still buying stuff. I mean, obviously music stores were closed down.
Right. They just reopened here in Tampa.
Yeah. So it's been like, I mean, I haven't reached out to any of the brands, you know, like I've seen them online, you know, most of them they're working from home, obviously, but the factory, like Zildjian, the factory was closed down. I think they're going to start back up. They're going to start letting people, you know, go back to work there. DW I haven't talked to, but you know, some of these companies, actually Evans, they went in and started doing.
That's your drum heads?
Yeah, they started making plastic front
Screens.
shields. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so they because they use the Mylar from that, and a few drumhead companies were doing that. I think they were probably donating it. I don't think they were. I don't know what they ended up doing with it, but if they were selling it or donating it.
But you know, we talk about, you know, Ed and I are both educators first, and we talk about flexing and changing the way we do things because of this. It's awesome to see companies like Evans being able to flip and flex and help the cause. You know, we're still teaching. We're not really doing anything different. We're just doing what we do differently. But for them to be able to change their model to help the greater good, that is like class act in my brain, and that's amazing.
Right. I have a friend that owns a vodka. It's called Touch Vodka. So
they're here local in Tampa, right?
Yeah. He has that, and he was talking about doing hand sanitizer.
Mm-hmm.
But it costs a lot of money to clean the equipment after you're done. So it's almost like you'd have to, and for a small company, it's like, man, it's hard to do that, you know, especially if you don't sell the product, you know. If you sell it, okay, you got to sell it. I mean, it was a lot of money. It was like $50,000 to clean all this stuff to make it work, you know.
A lot of people don't realize, you know, because we make our sauces, no matter what you're making, after every batch you make, you have to clean the equipment. Doesn't matter if you're making the same thing again. I mean, those are FDA guidelines. And, you know, people don't realize that. Even though, well, you're making sanitizer. It's sanitized. What do you got to clean? It's the guidelines. And that's expensive, and you shut down the plant for a while just to do that.
That's what breweries do. And guys I've talked to at places, he said that's kind of what sets them apart a lot of times, because your major, huge beer makers and wine makers, they don't clean after every use.
Let's hope they don't get popped.
That's why some of that stuff is bug spray. It's fucking pesticide, you know. And they give
Ed's a beer snob, man.
Yeah, that would be me. So
Casey, go ahead, Ed.
I got to ask Casey a food question I've been thinking about. Okay.
Well, you know he's pescatarian, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm vegan now.
You're vegan now?
Yeah.
What are you putting the VooDoo on?
I've got stuff I'm putting it on. You know, the VooDoo, the red.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do with that is put it in corn.
Put red in corn. Make a little Southwest corn.
It's amazing. I love it.
All right, so
I can eat corn and rice all day. That's what I'm just I'll eat the simplest of simple stuff.
So, dude, grill the corn.
Yep.
Spread some of that fake mayonnaise that you eat on there, some creme fraiche, and then hit it with lime and red. You'll be thanking me.
Yeah. But go ahead. What was the question?
What's the question there, Eddie C?
So in your former life, when you did eat chicken of the sea there, you've probably been all over the world eating a lot of fish. What was the best, most unique fish that you had somewhere that you can't get here?
In his house, VooDoo Red.
That ain't a fish. Jesus Christmas.
Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think what I've had, like something that I couldn't get here. I wouldn't even be able to remember the name of the fish anyway. Because sometimes you're in a different country and it's so weird.
As long as it's not those puffer fish in Japan.
No, I never had puffer fish. I've seen some weird stuff in Japan though. I've seen full-on monkey head brains with monkey heads sitting in
Faces of death type shit, man.
It's just weird. I mean, I've seen some weird stuff there. But
So what's the weirdest thing you've seen while you're out on the road on tour?
Food-wise?
Anything wise, as long as it's
No, I
not
don't
illegal, unethical, or
not illegal substance. No, my guys are actually none of them drink. Eddie's a chef, you know.
Really?
He cooks for us a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
The bass player. Yeah, he's an amazing chef, man. He this last tour we did the U.S. tour. He had a couple things. We had a air fryer going, and
Nice.
he has crock pots. And he has a couple of griddles and stuff. So
Hey,
I'll wake up during the day and be cooking everything.
Nice.
Two things. Give me his address. I'd love to send him a VooDoo pack.
Okay.
Second thing, next time you guys play Tampa, if your management team can arrange it, VooDoo Chef Catering will come in and feed your entire team.
That'd be awesome.
That's easy, man.
Yeah.
That's easy. My team would be excited to do that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, next time you're in Tampa, no matter where you're at, just let us know and get your management team to approve it. I take care of it all. I'll come in. Just don't start going, all right, there's 400 of us.
No, it's usually pretty well. I mean, just in our band, you know, there's like eight people at Rome with us, like, you know, that like between techs and, you know, merch and, you know, whatever. 8 or 9 if you count a driver too. We had the best driver this time. Oh my gosh, he's such a good dude. And then, you know, the opening bands, you know, if we invite them or not. But yeah,
dude, it would be my honor. You're good people, man. You take care of people, and that's who I want to take care of, because it just spreads, like you say. If we all try.
Yeah.
All right, Case, tell me your favorite show you ever played.
Ooh.
Ever. Doesn't have to be Queensryche, ever.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's been some shows that I thought, you know, those went pretty good. It's all a blur, you know. Dude, it's every one of them. I just love playing. It's not like I don't see a spot that's like crazy, you know. I mean, there's crowds that are different. Like, you know, like back to Japan, you know, like I played there a ton of times, and it's just it's a interesting place to play because they don't speak English very well. So after every song, it gets as quiet as can be. Like, it's like, you know, they clap and then they wait for the person to talk so they can understand every word they're saying, you know. And it's like, wow, it's so quiet in there. You can literally just drop a, you know, pin and it'd be like, oh, I can hear that. You know, I played a big festival there a few years ago at Camelot. It was unreal. Like, it was one of those amazing, you know, surreal things. But, you know, you get, I can't remember, there's probably 20, 30,000 people. And like, nothing. Like, how's gonna happen? You know, and they're all singing the songs. They're really great. They're a great place. That's probably one of my favorite places to play. Show wise, man, I can't tell you what, you know. I played a show in Germany called Wacken Open Air. That's what they call it.
I would give anything to go to that.
What's that?
I would give anything to go to that. I've seen the documentaries on that.
It's 75,000 people.
Oh, but the smell. Europeans don't bathe like we do. That's what a buddy of mine did. He's been to Eindhoven and all that, and he said, dude, they're just not like us. They don't shower. And you get these guys that have been out there for 3-4 days.
Yeah.
It's a little rank.
They get pretty, yeah. But I, you know, I've got good friends that you know, my German drum tech is amazing person and very clean. He's very clean. But
if you're outdoors for 3 days straight, everybody is going to smell like a fucking petting zoo, man.
They're camping. It's a camping thing. There's not really showers there. Well, I guess sure there are, but if it rains, there's mud, so they go mud sliding.
Slip and slide, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 75,000 people that got canceled this year. That's an
man.
odd thing. We played that last year, Queensryche
Did you?
on the main stage. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So would you say that's the largest crowd you've ever played to?
It's that one, or I played with a band called the Marvels back in 91, 92, something like that. And it was in Finland.
Ooh.
We were parked, and was it Finland or Sweden? No, Sweden. No. It was in Helsinki.
They're all Vikings.
Yeah. So they have this big, I can't remember what it was called, the water festival or something. There was supposed to have been 150,000 people.
Oh my God.
On the back of the ship and in like the harbor area. It was like just unreal. Like that was the craziest. And
that was the Melvilles?
Huh?
That was the Melvilles?
The Marvels.
The Marvels. Now, were you part of that? Was that like I'm part of the band, or was that I'm playing drums for them?
I was part of the band. Yeah, it was. They were a oldies type. They did a lot of show stuff. It was they did like a Sonny and Cher skit, and I actually did a skit. It was Tiny Tim. I came out with a ukulele and sang "Tiptoe through the Tulips," and yeah, I mean that was kind of.
Wait, can we get you to do that right now?
Oh, I don't think so. I can't squeeze my nuts that hard anymore.
So you've never played a show like Anvil did where there's the guy sitting on the recliner in the side. What a moment. Holy shit. I still think of that.
Well, I've done some interesting shows though. Yeah. But yeah, that was something. And the funny thing was we weren't even playing. It was all pre-recorded because it was, yeah. And the way they had the PA set up, it was weird because they had it through the whole thing, so you could hear echoing all the way through the whole play. I mean, it was weird. That was it was a cool show, but it was just an interesting day.
Yeah, I got to think that some places just don't go. Last year, I went to the Brass Mug, which I swore I'd never set foot in there because they never heard of air conditioning, to see Saxon, because I thought, how the fuck are they playing that? And I look at them playing the main stage of Wacken, and one time I'm watching the concert in my living room. My wife said, "Who is that?" I said, "That's Saxon." She said, "Didn't you go see them in some fucking shithole a few weeks ago?" I said, "Yeah, that's the same band." And
Yep.
they must have looked around like, what the fuck did we get ourselves into?
Yeah, that's pretty. I didn't know they played the Brass Mug though. That's crazy.
They did. I gave the bass player a bottle of Hunapoo Imperial Stout, and they were very happy with that.
I wonder if was it packed? Was there a lot of people there?
It was stuffed. I mean,
yeah.
I'd met them all before the show because I'm a fucking dork, and that place is small, so the band is like their tour bus is right next to it, and I asked Biff Byford, what the fuck? He said, they told us nobody wanted to come see us. He said, "Mate, it's sold out." And that's what, when I left there,
yeah,
told me it had sold out.
I mean, I got to see, I don't know if you know Tony McAlpine.
Yeah.
Tony,
Racer X, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Paul Gilbert. Yeah, Tony he's a guitar player.
Right.
Just no vocals. Anyway, I'm a huge fan of Tony, and he was playing at the Brass Mug, and so I was like, wow, I'm gonna go there. I need to buy tickets. It's gonna get sold out. There was like 10 people there. I was so sad. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I was like, okay. And I was gonna reach out to Tony and try to get him to hook me up at the door. But when I heard that they were, called ahead and they said, no, there's not really any tickets sold at all. And I thought I was going to go and pay because, they need. I'm not going to get on a list because why would I do that?
Right.
But man, it was amazing. What an amazing show! It was like a private show for me and a couple of buddies. My old bass player from Camelot, Glenn Barry, he was there. And I hadn't seen him in years, and we hooked up, and we had a blast. We had a good time, and but man, talk about crazy seeing somebody that I idolize Tony anyway. He's just amazing,
Sick guitar player. Yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
Hey, Case. I call you Rockstar, but I call fucking everybody Rockstar. So I don't mean any sarcasm in that. But you are a rock star. I mean, you've made your living playing music. You've played in some of the largest metal bands out there. I want to ask you what it's like when people fangirl, fanboy out to you. And because, sitting here, we're talking, and like I said, I met you as Casey. I had no clue what you did or any of that. And I like who you are. I like what you do because it's cool as shit, and I envy that. But, you're a solid cat. And most people, like we talked about earlier, this is your job. And you talk about it as a banker would talk about their job, as my brother who worked in the clothing industry talks about his job. But it's different because people put you on a pedestal. What's that like?
It's been strange, but it's been that way for a while, with Camelot and everything.
Right.
I mean, there's people that thought, I must drive a Ferrari or something like that, and, I'm super rich and and that's obviously not the case. But I mean, I can't, I've done okay. I mean, I'm doing better now than I've ever done.
But it's got to be humbling for people to.
It is true. Yeah, absolutely. It is. I mean, because I look at, it makes me think back when I was a kid and looking at Tommy Lee and looking at the Scorpions and looking at all these bands that I really like. They're untouchable.
Right.
They were to me, they were like, like some of these drummers that I'm like, well, man, I Dean Castronova and, well, Buddy Rich, but I never got to meet Buddy Rich, but like some of these guys that I'm like, they're like, and I get it. So when I meet somebody you're doing a meet and greet and they're shaking because they're so like scared to meet you and they're like, they don't know what to say. They're like, I don't know what to say. Like I go, dude, I'm just we're all people, If I met some famous, and I've met some famous people, I mean, I treat them the same way. I usually never get a photo with them either, which is kind of weird, but like it's something I just don't do. I don't go, hey, let's take a photo together. But it's definitely humbling. I mean, when you meet somebody, that they're a super fan, and they come up with stuff that I'd forgotten about, like, hey, I've got this record that you played on with this band, like Jeff Scott Soto or something. I'm like, wow, what song did I play on there? I can't even tell you what it is. I'm like, well, wow, okay. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, what band? There's a few bands I can't even remember the name of them, that I've done records with. And I'll get they're signing I'm signing all these CDs, and they're just big followers. They're big fans, and it's kind of amazing to think of, and yeah, I mean that's about it. I mean,
well, I'm glad you feel like that, and I didn't think you would feel any differently. And I told you we were going to play a little trivia at the end of this.
No.
And I've got a buddy.
You didn't tell me that.
Well, we're going to play a little trivia today. And I've got a buddy, and he like totally fangirls out about you. When he'll come over and, we get in here and we jam, not like you jam. We get in here, we play loud and we drink. And, hey man, is Casey on tour today? And he like fangirls out behind your back. and he just really digs you. So we're going to play trivia against him today, and he's sitting in the waiting room, and we're going to bring him in, and he has no clue that you're on the podcast today. He thinks we're just going to do some 80s trivia, and I think it's kind of funny. He and I went to high school together. He's a solid dude. He's from Tampa right here. He's a local attorney, so, hey, if you ever need anything, you know, you got that. But we're going to bring in Albert Ferreira right now. My high school buddy, played football together, and Albert's entering the podcast right now with Casey Grillo. Albert, you out there, buddy? What's going on? You out there, partner? Can you hear us?
I think I got you.
Well, you're on the podcast with Casey Grillo, drummer from Queensryche, man. What's going on?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great, brother.
Hey,
So,
Albert, how you doing, bud?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good, man.
I told him you fangirl out, and you have no clue he was on the podcast tonight.
I've had a few, so I'm nice and mellow, and I don't think I'm going to fangirl out. I'm kind of.
Hey, we've been talking with.
Love you drumming.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
He
So
looks like
we've.
a halo on his head with that sun thing in the background.
Yeah.
It's a mirror.
That's the way his mother views him. It's a Hispanic thing. You know, he's got the halo around him.
Looks like a little Jesus there.
Yeah. Swaddling.
So, Albert, I was saying how you're an attorney here in Tampa, Florida. You want to pimp any of that info out? You don't have to if you don't want to. But, you know, we go back to high school days a long time, and you always hooked me up and got my back, and I love you for that, man.
Thank you, my friend. Well, you know, I hope no one who happens to see this needs my services, but I work for a small firm. You might have heard of Morgan & Morgan. I do nursing home and ALF litigation. I represent the residents or the residents' estates, and so if anybody needs help, there's a lot of stuff going on in these places, especially over the last couple months. If anybody needs assistance, I'd be happy to help you, and just look me up on the website and send me an email.
And if there's any football teams out there that need a pair of offensive guards, you know, we got their back on that too, right?
I get sore just walking down the block, so I don't think I'm in.
Dude, I can't do it without you, man.
Although I weigh enough.
Yeah, heard that. Me too, man. Did you get the COVID-15? I got it.
No, I don't.
I got the COVID-30, I think, man. I just keep putting it on. Hey, so we brought you in tonight to do a little trivia with Case. And the way we've been doing trivia in the past is we would ask you metal trivia, you know, Casey's occupation. And we would ask Casey legal questions. But you're a metalhead, man. We figured it would be unfair. So we thought we'd mix it up today if you guys are down. And we're going to ask one metal question and then one stupid U.S. law question. And whoever calls in first and answers gets to try and answer. Are you down?
Yeah, I'm down. I hope I don't miss the law questions.
Casey, you down?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, so if you got the answer, just shout out your name first, and Ed will call on you, and we'll see who gets them right. Too easy, right? And it's all for grins and giggles, man, just for fun.
Probably not going to get any of them right.
You better get the last one. It's about you, man. All right, so the first one, and remember, the legal questions are stupid U.S. laws. In Boston, blank is not allowed in the backseat of any car. I'm going to read four answers. If you know the answer, shout out your name. Ed will call on you. In Boston, blank is not allowed in the backseat of any car. A birch tree, an in-law, a gorilla, or a dog.
Gorilla.
You got to shout out your name, man.
Al.
All right. What's the answer?
I think gorilla.
How the hell did you know that?
He's an attorney.
It's an exotic animal, right? So you can't have that without special licenses, probably.
talking like a fucking attorney even when he's drinking. And just so everybody knows out there, the rules of the trivia portion of the game, no cheating, and you must have a cocktail.
There's probably some people think their mother-in-law looks like a gorilla. Does that count?
That's right. You don't want to get calls. They can pull you over if he looks enough like one, I would imagine.
All right, let's go to a music question here, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
And you can tell how old I am. I got to keep moving the phone farther away from me. What singer joined Black Sabbath right after the original singer was gone?
I'm going to defer. I know it, but I've got to give him one.
I don't know it.
He's throwing you a softball.
Hey, no,
I know this.
David
After
Coverdale. David
Casey, you
Coverdale?
got an answer?
I don't know.
Are you serious?
After who left Black Sabbath?
The original singer.
All right, yeah, I'll take that one. That would be
Who is it?
Ronnie James Dio.
The Dio, yeah.
Ronnie James Dio. Look, we were just talking about how courteous Casey was to fans and stuff like that.
Shit,
Yeah, I
I
gave
gave all the other singers.
All right, let's go back to stupid laws. Ed, you got to keep score because I'm a half bottle in.
Okay.
Well, why should today be any different, right? All right, here we go. You ready?
Ready.
In South Carolina, you cannot sell merchandise within a mile of a church without also selling what? Cow, candy, pigs, or fruit?
God.
What in the actual fuck?
I know. It's
Okay,
Google, man.
Casey, I'll
Casey,
try,
what you
I'll try.
got?
Fruit.
Fruit is the answer. Good job.
All right.
Casey knows his South Carolina. I'm sure he's played a few
Yeah,
games.
I try to stay out of that area.
That's because he was touring there and he was hungry and he's vegetarian now, so he had to get something to eat.
No,
You
he
want to know what's amazing? That
Probably-
VooDoo Red that you like,
Yeah.
if you take a sweet fruit, a juicy fruit like a pineapple or a papaya, and you sprinkle some of the red on the outside, you'll go nuts, man. You'll go nuts. Do you still have red at the house, or do I need to bring you some more?
No, I have hat. Well, yeah.
You let me know. It's a phone call. I can get it to you in a 5-pound bag, bro.
I need the dust.
You need the dust?
The
Hey,
dust.
I don't know if I mentioned, I don't know if you can see the shirt right here. It's one of the VooDoo shirts, all the VooDoo shirts hang here in the studio, and it kind of resembles something. That's available right now on our website, voodoochef.com, for Father's Day. For all the fathers out there, it comes with the dirt and the dust. Just throwing that out there. All right, so this one's going to be a little more difficult. Probably not for Ed. Ed's going to know this. Metalhead Albert might know this too. It's not an Iron Maiden question. I removed all of those.
Well, that's messed up, man.
All right, here's the band. Who's the singer? System of a Down.
Oh God,
Got his name.
he's got a weird name too.
Are you friends with him, Case? Because this will get you in
Nope.
trouble.
No. I came on, played a festival with him. It's like I can't remember his name. It's got
Albert?
some kind of
I can see his face. I cannot recall his name.
yeah.
All right, we'll go. Do we need to go to multiple guess?
Sure.
Dave Grohl, Eddie Van Halen, Jay Dunn, or Serge Tankian?
Third Shurkin.
He beat you, man. He beat you. Ed, what's our score here?
It is 2-2.
Might be the Jack Daniels, but that sounded oddly like Turd Ferguson to me.
Sir, yeah, I remember that.
That's me.
All right, here we go. Back to the stupid legal questions. Remember, shout out your name if you know the answer. In Denver, it is illegal to drive what color car on Sunday? Blue,
Al.
white, black, or red? Al.
Red.
Incorrect. You got a chance, Case. It's a freebie.
Black.
Winner, winner,
Oh,
vegetarian dinner.
Vegan dinner.
No black on
Vegan
Sunday.
dinner,
Bad
yeah.
luck.
Wow.
Vegan.
Black is the correct answer. He takes the lead. Al, you better jump in quick. You ready here? Heavy lyrics. Who is responsible for this lyric? It's not like you to say sorry. I was waiting on a different story. If you know this answer, you better not admit it, because it's the band nobody likes to admit that they like.
Oh,
He knows.
um,
I'll give you a quarter if you know.
give me a quarter.
Can we get
All right,
four choices?
I'll give you a dime if you know. I'll give you a penny if you know.
Man, I think I know the band, but I don't know the song.
I'll give you a nickel if you know.
Oh boy.
Ed's like hating life for you guys right now because he knows it.
He likes it.
Eddie C, who is it?
It's Nickelback.
It's
Nickelback.
Nickelback.
Give me
I
a
don't like
nickel.
those guys. I don't know about you. I mean, I just went to the last 5 concerts because everybody was going.
I went to one of their shows once. It was pretty cool.
I like
Dude.
their music's pretty good. It just sounds like a lot of was out there, especially at that time. But they're good musicians.
I liked them until they hooked up with Mutt Lange. When that album came out that sounded like Def Leppard, White Flag, dude. It was like, I can't. I just can't. The fucking Mutt Lange thing, I can't. It goes with Def Leppard and nobody else.
The singer's married to Avril Lavigne, I think.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. Really?
No, and she only does Christian music now.
Wait.
Was their last album, was it the last one that they put out, was supposed to be a little heavier? I mean, I remember listening to some stuff. Maybe it was on what's that dude from LA, that radio show? They used to have the metal show.
That little shit.
Eddie Trunk.
Yeah, Trunk. I think they were talking about, this was maybe 2018, but I thought they made one that had a little more ass to it.
Dude, I don't know. After that, the last one they came out and first song I heard sounded like Pour Some Sugar on Me. I was like, waiter, check please. Done. Had to go.
Hey, I'll take 2002 Nickelback any day. I'm okay with that, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
The song about the chick with her pants around her ankles. Hell
Damn
yeah.
straight.
Yeah, I'll take
Isn't that what rock and roll? Isn't that what rock and roll is, right?
Well,
He's like, no, it's about playing drums and making money, idiot.
I think
Yeah.
Joey Ramone said rock and roll
If
ain't
they need a drummer, I'll do it.
greatest quote ever, Joey Ramone. Rock and roll ain't got no soul, only a dick and a wallet.
All right, let's go back to legal. In Wilbur, Washington, you may not ride what kind of horse? Fake, stolen, ugly, or dead?
Ow.
Casey,
Al beat you, man. What is it?
Stolen.
Stolen is incorrect. It's free, Casey. What is it?
what was the answers again?
Fake, stolen, ugly, or dead?
Dead.
Man, that's what I guess too, but the answer's ugly. And I don't know who gets to decide what's ugly or not.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that.
Al's getting pissed over there. Look at him.
No, I was just thinking, are there any Florida law ones, maybe?
I don't have any Florida laws on here, man.
Where in Washington was the dead horse, the ugly horse one?
That was in Wilbur, Washington. And just so you know, to get your frame of reference, we're going to Hornytown, North Carolina next.
All right.
Casey's played there. All right, so we're going back to rock and roll here. And the question is, in 1990, what bands were headlining the Clash of Titans tour?
Ow.
What is
So
it?
you got Metallica, right?
2 out of 3, and I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
Van Halen, Metallica. Was that 2?
Nope.
No.
Clash of Titans tour. Case.
I'm thinking of the Monsters of Rock. Or no.
Who was there
Yeah.
with you? That was 80-something.
That was 88.
We were in high school out, or I was. Casey, you know 2 of the 3 bands of the Clash of the Titans tour.
Oh,
What year was it?
1990.
Nickelback.
It was.
No.
Dude, I don't know, dude.
You know,
I've
Al?
never even heard of that tour.
Flash. Were the Scorpions in that group?
It was Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. Ed, you knew that, didn't you?
It's three of the big four.
The fourth one was
right.
Testament.
Ed would have got them all right.
Oh,
I was
All right,
playing
let's
in
go.
a top 40 band back then, so I was playing in a top 40 band, so I didn't even know anything about metal. And
I probably would have liked your music.
we played
I like-
a lot of Madonna and stuff like that.
So I'm told I like bubblegum rock.
So do I.
Hey, let's play in an 80s cover band, which means let's drink a lot of Jack and just hang out.
All right.
All right, we're going to Hornytown, North Carolina. In Hornytown, North Carolina, what type of parlors have been banned? Drinking, gambling, beauty, or massage?
Casey.
Al.
Oh, Casey got it. Am I right on that, Ed?
yeah.
Casey snuck in. What is it there, buddy?
Massage.
And you are correct, sir. What's our score here, man?
That was the one that's too obvious. It really is. All right.
I think he's got him 4-3.
Al, he's hitting the legal question. It's 4-2.
It's 4-2.
4-3. I
He's
think.
laughing at me.
Al says it's 4-2.
Okay, I'll take that.
The attorney's being honest here.
That's what I spell ever since the second question.
Wait a second. The attorney's being honest. When has that ever happened?
That's shit. That you'd be waiting until the sun burns out from the next one.
All right, you ready? I think this is the last question in metal. And Ed's the only one that's going to know it.
Okay.
Cradle of Filth is a black metal band from England. Who's the singer?
Oh, shit.
All right, here we go. Multiple guess. Do you know a case?
No, go ahead, though.
All right, multiple guess. Sean L. Filth and the band Cradle of Filth. Sean L. Filth, Craig Cradle, Erik Joe Cradle, or Danny Filth.
Al.
Now, what is it?
Danny Filth?
Dude, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know it. I just figured it sounds kind of like England kind of punk rock.
It sounds like England.
Yeah.
I met him. That's the only reason I remember.
You met him?
I met him at
Yeah.
Rocky Metal Fest in 1998. It was their first U.S. show. He is still probably to this day, he might be the shortest musician I've ever met. And that includes such drummers as Casey Grillo and Rick Allen. So
What?
he was easily the shortest guy I've ever met. And I remember he wasn't in the greatest mood. He was nice to me when I got his autograph, but he was jet lagged. They were nervous. They had heard correctly that the acoustics in that place were hammered shit, which it was. It was a Veterans Memorial Auditorium. It was like 5 stories, just a big fucking barn. But I remember when they got there, like they had nothing backstage for anybody. They gave them a ticket and they could get a soda and a sandwich. It was fucking pathetic.
Eddie C, I don't know how you do it, but
True story about that show. But the day before, this might have been it was only showed by Venom in a long, long time. We had about a 2-hour conversation with the singer in the bar the day before it, and I'll never forget. He told me 2 things I remember. He said it was great to work out stoned because then you had a little voice in your ear saying, you can do one more. He also said he fucking hated Sammy Hagar for being the infiltrator of Van Halen. Unfucking real.
The infiltrator.
He called him an infiltrator. Yep.
I read an article today that the manager of Van Halen never really wanted David Lee Roth in the band. You know, it was on Facebook. It must be true. I don't know. All right. We're tied now, right?
Nope.
It's 4-3.
got 4. He's got 4. He's beaten.
Hey, Case. Are you okay if we give Al the last question for winner take all?
I'm fine with that.
All right, Al, you ready?
Very generous of you. Thank you. I'm gonna miss it.
It's in the field of music. Are you confident?
No, but I'm willing.
What brand of drums does Casey Grillo, the touring drummer from Queensryche, use?
Yamahas.
He just barked out anything.
The 1980s called, they want their drums back.
Yeah.
I have a Yamaha drum. That's close, isn't it?
That is pretty good.
Did I miss it?
Casey Grillo, who custom made your drum set for you?
DW, but I have a DW kit, but Sean Lowry actually made the custom rack and everything.
So he's got a DW kit that was custom altered or modified by Sean Lowry. Al, man, awesome.
This was a blast. You're right. I do want to do this again. So whenever you have a spot, over there, I'll do it. Let's do it.
Al, when Casey said he'd come on to talk about his trying to help the local musicians, which now is just trying to reach out to anybody who needs help. We like to bring on people to play trivia. You had to be the guy. You're my partner. You're my pal. We go way back, and I'm glad you got to hang out with Casey today. Casey, I'm glad we got to pimp out your mission and your cause, and I really want to connect to see if we can amplify that. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Thank you guys both for coming into the podcast, man, and thanks for supporting the VooDoo.
And there you have it, Booties, another episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast. Let's give a big shout out to everyone involved with VooDoo Chef and all things VooDoo, starting with Woostoff Knives, the official knife of the VooDoo Chef. And jamming up and down the streets of all Ybor City and Tampa Bay, Ragged Old Souls. Thanks for letting me jam with you guys. And when those amps aren't cranking, the turntables are definitely spinning thanks to the official DJ of the VooDoo Chef, DJ Don Pablo. Check him out spinning all across town, most importantly, at all VooDoo Chef events. Speaking of events, getting ready for yours? Check out VooDoo Chef Catering, custom created events for every shape and size. Log on to VooDooChefCatering.com to get your information today. A great big shout out to all my Voodies that are in the VooDoo crew. Thank you for your support. And of course, we could not do what we do in the crew without all of our crew sponsors. First Watch, Chef Shane Shively, thank you for believing in our mission. And of course, we can't forget VooDoo Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, check them out at VooDooMortgage.com. Alessi Bakery, a Tampa staple. Drop in and check them out today. And our newest sponsor, Twisted South Food Truck. Chef Adam Jessup, thank you for what you do. And of course, all things VooDoo are in support of the VooDoo Chef Foundation, providing culinary scholarship and feeding those in need. To find out more information or make a donation yourself, log on to VooDooChefFoundation.com today.
All right, man. I'll see you in a bit. See you. What up, friend?
Not enough.
What are you eating?
Leftover hamburger helper, but it's not just any hamburger helper. It's the one that my wife doctors up. Like when it says add this much water, she usually halves it water and wine. And of course, there's some extra spices, extra cheese, extra sour cream, some mushrooms added in there. It's just some serious gourmet shit.
Sounds good, man. I got some serious gourmet shit getting ready here. If you're ready, we'll just start flapping our gums again and bring them in.
All right, I'm ready anytime.
I'll wait for you.
Fucking real shit.
Ooh, what is that?
That's the old guitar.
You gonna play tonight for us?
Absolutely not. You know this thing is like, it's like one of the fucking American Idol shit contestants. It can't stay in tune.
You're such a fucking...
No, it's fucking terrible.